everybody, welcome back to Interviews. Today we're talking about Slime Season 4, Episode 16. Another fantastic setup episode. This episode was setting up Episode 17, which I feel like the main fight is going to happen in Episode 16, because we have so many forces like going to Liberius right now. Rimmer is already at Liberius. What's this? Luminous is stays at Liberius. Granville and Granville and Yuki are making plans to also go to attack Liberius. And then we have Leon, who in the final minutes of the episode is also going to Liberius. So the big conflict, the big fight is happening next episode, which is about to be peak. I hope I'm not wrong. I hope they don't meatball us, because they said the conflict will be, I think the conflict will be during like the music festival. And since it's setting up that, I feel like we won't have a music festival, because it will kind of disrupt the hype that episode 16 brought. So let's just let's just hope that next week's episode is the big fight of the episode. Today we got a massive low dump on Granville himself, because I didn't know that Granville. Okay, I knew he was a hero, but like I didn't know there was like an actual strength gap between Granville and was this Hinata. Hinata is a saint, but was this Granville is a true hero, which I didn't know about. We don't really know much about like heroes. We don't, on the human side. We really don't know much. On the monster side, we know evolution, what's this, everything. But on the human side, we know little to nothing, because we don't interact. We rarely interact with like the humans, and like we don't even need to learn the humans' power system, because we're monsters. We don't need to like. So anyway, let's get into the episode. Let's get into the meat of the action, and let's talk about what the goods, the bads. There were no bads, there were just goods. Let's get into it. Anyway, the episode starts off with Butler. The Butler was kind of telling Luminous about like how Granville and Grandmaster Yuki kind of like met up. They made contact. They're forming an alliance of sort. And this also kind of brought light to something like I thought Luminous didn't know about like how Granville was, also the head of the Seven Days Clergy. But turns out she also did know like Granville was the head of the Seven Days Clergy. I thought that was like a secret he was keeping, but turns out she was the one who kind of promoted him, which I'll talk about more in the segments in the part where it kind of explains that part. Anyway, at 1,700 years ago, on the outskirts of Liberius, we had Granville, um, Amelia, and I. This guy was in the intro, but I didn't know him that much. We really don't know that much about him. We saw him in like the flashback episode, but in this flashback episode, but we don't know that much. And anyway, this is really shocking, because that means Granville has been alive for like 1,700 years, which I thought it was humanly impossible, because he is a human, but turns out he's was this a true hero, so he's not limited to like his mortal body, as for Hinata, where she has a mortal body where she kind of needs to eat and sleep. Like for example, Rimmer, he doesn't really need to eat sleep, but like it's like a human habit to him, so like he does that on instinct. But like if you reach a realm of hero, you don't really require like necessities of eating, sleeping, and whatnot. Anyway, Granville kind of made a somewhat contract with Luminous, where Luminous would protect them, and well, it was like a mutual protection where both of them would kind of protect each other. And I'll explain why he made that contract, because in this first part of the segment, it doesn't really talk about why he made that contract, but like in the later parts of the episode, it kind of explains why. Because like the main thing we know about Granville is that he really despises monsters. He's like a human supremacist. He only values human life. So like seeing him make a contract, it was even shocking when I thought about how like he was the head of the 7 days college, and he knew Luminous was a demon lord. So like he was fooling people that Luminous was a god when she was actual demon lord. And like his ideal word is humans being like above. So like having a demon lord, having people worship a demon lord was like really contradicting to me. But the episode kind of explains why he was doing that. And this part of the episode is the one that kind of confused me, because Luminous was shocked, because she was talking about how Granville was so young, and he aged, and it clicked in her mind, because she gave her love energy to towards this to the elders, which, and like I said, Granville is a true hero, someone who doesn't require necessities. He's been alive for like 1,700 years. He shouldn't physically be aging. It's like theoretically impossible because once you reach the realm of a true hero, your body becomes somewhat immortal. I feel like age declining is not really some like there's something that should really happen. She was wondering to herself like, why is he aging? Like I also don't know why he's aging because this like a true hero is the same as a true demon lord. Those guys are on the same level, so I feel like him aging is not, it's not physically possible. It shouldn't even be possible because once you reach the realm of a true person, a true monster, a true demon lord, a true hero, it becomes somewhat immortal. You know, you get infinite regeneration. Your body kind of stops aging. That should have happened to Granville. So I don't know why he's physically aging. That's really shocking to me. Even shocking to Luminous as well. Yeah, this was the guy in the intro. I think so. Yeah, this was, you know, the monster that we saw in the intro, which I thought he would be on our side. I thought he would be on your ally, but he is on. I wouldn't say he's on Grenville's side because we haven't seen him in the current story. We've seen Maria like the Saintess because she was shown in the episode, and I'll talk about it. But like him, we haven't physically seen him, so it was shocking. Anyway, aside from all those conspiracies and drama, we kind of reached in Lobedius, the land. I wouldn't call it the land of the free because the like in Lobedius everyone is equal, so it's not, it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, which I will explain more as the episode kind of goes on. Anyway, before I explain why Lobedius term of equality isn't really good, we kind of meet Luminous, and I feel like Luminous has a maid kink because every time we see her, she's always dressed as a maid. Like I'm not suggesting anything, but like that she has a desire to be dominated because it was even in season 3 she was wearing a maid most of the time. I feel like she wants to be a maid. Even in Walpurgis she was wearing a maid. Like I don't know what's happening, but like she really does love wearing a maid costume. It does look good on her, so what can I do? Anyway, the reason that she put Rimuru aside without, Hinata is because Granville seems to be plotting something which he's, plotting with like I was his um Yuki, but I'll explain. But I was really one thing that I shot was the five elders. It's not like I thought. I really thought that who's this. I really thought this guy wouldn't show up in more of the episode because I thought he was working for Maria Bell, and like when she died I thought like the five elders would probably go their separate path, but not really. And I wonder who were the seven days clergy really? Well, were they all just Granville in disguise? Because, or maybe were there some like spies implanted by Granville that like it's I really want to know because we really don't know much about the 7 days clergy. Like right now is when we're learning more about like the 7 days clergy and how Granville. We already know Granville was one of the 7 days clergy, but like what about the others? Were like the five elders also part of like the 7 days clergies? I really don't know. Anyway, this whole meeting is about how Granville telling everyone that Maria Bell is dead, and that they've lost humanity's hope. So basically, this is an all or nothing assault. Well, they will attack. They'll attack Luminous to get the ultimate weapon, which is the hero. Luminous even says that she didn't say it, but like she knows that the ultimate weapon that Granville wants is the hero because the hero was the strongest being, like I could consider being, because she was able to seal Verdora, which like Verdora is one of the four strongest people we know currently in the story. So being able to seal Verdora, that's like a big feat. So I think he's trying to like unseal the hero so like she can defeat all the demon lords and protect the Eastern Empire. So basically, like I said, this whole meeting was Granville telling everyone, the five elders, about like his plan, and to see if they would go with him, because this is a do or nothing. Like he's telling them if they want to go with him, they have to go in mind with like they're never really coming back alive. It's either you die if you escape, I doubt they'll let you escape. You'll probably be captured and tortured for like information. So like this is a do or nothing. This is an all or nothing assault where like death is inevitable. Like you said, I will place on one final bet. He's betting on Yuki being like, because he knows he will die. I feel like he knows because they fought with Luminous a long time ago, and they've been fighting out for a while, not in the current time, but like 1,700 years ago. But so it's like he's going in with the mindset that he can defeat Luminous. So it's that he kind of fights with Luminous with like a death wish where like he uses everything he has. Yuki gets the hero and he unseals the hero, and the hero kind of goes on the rampage, defeating all the demon lords. That's like the only thing he's going with, because in his mind, humans are not strong enough to actually defeat defeat the monsters. But like there is one human who is physically able to like stop one of like the four true dragons, the hero. And the hero, we don't know much about her. We know she has a dual personality, and she asked Luminous to see her in like the ice cage until the time arrives. We know Luminous knows some future prophet of Rimuru dying, which I don't know. It's really shocking. I really don't know what's happening, but like even though I you kind of hate these guys, I'm really shocked by their loyalty, because they're willing to go in an all out nothing assault where they know death is inevitable, and they will die for like the sake of ideals. Even though they're bad guys, their ideals are the only things that's keeping them alive. So let's see how far they go. I want to see an epic battle. Like, to be honest, I don't feel like Rimuru would die in this upcoming fight, but like this would be like a really really good one, because we have Granville, who is canonically considered the stronger than Hinata, which I wouldn't say Rimuru struggled, but like we did struggle a lot. And Granville has been alive for like 1,700 years. He has more experience than Hinata. He's stronger than Hinata. Like I know Granville wouldn't be fighting Rimuru. He'll be fighting, Luminous. So it's up to Yuki to distract Rimuru and have an all-out war, happen. But Yuki is planning on manipulating Leon so he can fight Rimuru. So like it's two demon lords clashing. What's this Granville clashing with what's this Luminous, and Yuki getting the shield. That's basically the plan. It's an all-out nothing where death is inevitable for both of them. I don't know how strong Leon is, but I don't want to consider him stronger than Rimuru. But we know he is a somewhat true demon lord. No, what's this? Leon was a hero. He was a true hero, a true fallen hero. So even though he is not, I wouldn't consider him a strong demon lord. As a hero contender, I would consider him stronger. So I want to see the clash. I feel like that clash between Leon and Rimuru will be legendary. I want to see it, which I hope it happens in next week's episode, because wait, you gotta wait a next week, and I don't want to read ahead because the anime is already here. Why read ahead? Oh yeah, we have this. Remember Green Fury? In like the first part, in the first score of season 4, Green Fury was ruining our dungeon plans by speed powering through them. These guys have will also be playing a role in the final battle, because they want to purge, like they want to kill, or like bring the world to chaos. That's like the main thing, and they're worshiping a god. I don't know who this god is. I think this is the god of judgment and destroy. I don't know what type of god they are, but like they're worshiping this god, and they want to bring this world into chaos. So we have four different teams right now going on assault. We have Leo, Yuki, Granville, and the Five Elders, and then Green Fury. This is gonna be a really good fight. Like I hope the episode is much longer, because we have four different battles. But I wouldn't mind like an with all the fights being led in episodes. Wait, 6, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is a 24 episode, so like we still have more episodes to go. So I feel like the fight. I don't want I don't want this fight to drag out, but like I also want it to drag out. I want the fight to just be epic, like I want to see some heartfelt fights where like Rimuru is getting pushed to its limit, because I wouldn't say Rimuru is mugging all the MCs, but like when Rimuru achieved Demon Lord status, we haven't seen him actually fight someone that could actually challenge him, like compared to like the orc disaster that happened. That was even the orc disaster we low diffed him. Like since coming to this world, we've kind of been low different enemies. So like I feel like this will be an epic fight. Except no, we didn't. Not all enemies we low diffed. We fought we fought Hinata and we did. If even though. I don't consider that fight a loss because one Hinata put up a holy shield where we couldn't use our magic and also so we were basically fighting with a crap ton of handicaps. But this will be like another fight we'll kind of see if Rimuru. I hope we see Rimuru struggle, and I hope we see like other characters pop off because this will be like the epic fight that will kind of decide the fate of the heroes, Tempest, everything. This will decide the fate of the Western nations in a whole. Oh yeah, we also learn about the hero's egg, and for those who want to know, the hero's egg is basically like the Demon Lord seal because if you remember in after the orc disaster in season two, part two, where Rimuru no in season two, part one, where Rimuru kind of like learns that about a demon lord seed where he can like become a demon lord. That's basically it. The hero seed is a seed which heroes kind of get, and when it hatches, it kind of the it's a demon lord. It's like the demon lord of heroes becoming of humans. Like humans have a certain path to climb and become heroes. Demons have a certain path to become demon lords. Like this world structured is like in a fantasy world, so like each one has a path. We like I said, we don't really know much on the criteria of becoming a hero. We know the criteria of becoming a demon lord. Gather a crap ton of mana, defeat like if you have just a lot of mana, if you're on the level of a demon lord, like you watch this, the hero said kind of the demon lord seed appears and then you kind of awaken as a demon lord. We don't know about a hero, like do you have to like have good merits or something like that? We really don't know anything about heroes. And now let's talk about Granville's, backstory in this episode. This was a really nice backstory because it kind of shows, the history of the Western nation because Granville was the originator of the Eastern nations. He was the one who founded the East. He was the one who brought up every other country. So it was really shocking. And this guy is a monster, which because he kind of he says I fight not for humans but he's fighting for Granville, so it's not like Granville was he was a human supremacist from the beginning, but things did change because in this backstory we also learn about this guy who kind of who I think this guy started Granville's human supremacy arc because of his pathetic nature. Like he is human, so like he felt he was a greedy person. He wanted everything for himself and he wanted to kill Granville. So a demon came to him and gave him a knife that could even pierce a saint because Granville was a saint. Oh, it was a saint or a hero. Granville was at this point. Granville is a hero. He already made a contract with Luminous because when they made the contract with Luminous, because we had we had like demons appearing. What's this? Veldora was active in his era where like he was just causing destruction. So having like a strong backing because he knows he couldn't defeat Veldora or the other demon lords who had started popping up. So with a strong backing like Luminous was able to keep Veldora at bay, which kind of helped the Eastern Empire, grow because without the assault of like multiple demons and a literal storm dragon at the backing doors, they could actually grow, which I don't know why he got jealous of that because he didn't. He's a piece of shit. He did do nothing. I don't even know why he was jealous, but he was jealous, which also led to like Granville's. I think he was his teammate. His teammate, Granville's teammate, which I feel like Granville had a romantic feeling for her. Anyway, I think this was a wedding for Isabella. I thought Granville was marrying Isabella, but like in the episode, it just so that he was in love with Maria. So I really don't know. But the reason Maria died wasn't because like she died to like if she died to the demon, I could have given the guy a pass because he didn't kill he didn't do anything. He was just scared. But like because he was scared that people would find out about his evil deeds, he was willing to like actually betray humans and kill one of the heroes who actually helped build the Eastern Nation, which was fucking stupid of him. Now Granville, I don't. Granville was in a different country at this point, so he wasn't actually there. So he came late. He found the monster. He defeated it, but it was already too late. The damage was already done, and Maria was also dead. And I feel like Maria was also the one who also like that damage was also the one, but like Maria was like a major factor in Granville's human supremacy, because at the end of like her death, she said humans are weak. Humans are so weak. She was telling Granville humans are so weak, aren't they? Like for the sake of peace of the world of all, you have to lend them. You have to lead them on the right path. Grant, you must protect humankind. That kind of brought his human complex, where he now views monsters as lower beings that needs to be perished for humans to rise up. Like again, human supremacy. Anyway, like I said, this will be like an epic battle, the battle of the ages. I really can't wait to actually watch this. This will be an epic fight next week. I hope next week comes real quick. Anyway, now remember when I talked about how Leviticus' terms of equal is really, I think, redundant, because there's in no world this I don't think people like people should be equal, but like not in the way that they're thinking of. Because for example, if two people work the same job, but like someone works harder and someone doesn't work at all, I feel like the one who works harder should be paid more than the person who's doesn't work at all. But like in Lobelius, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone works harder and someone works less. Everyone gets equal pay and equal rights, which is good. And theoretically, that's good. But like, it's also not really good, because like kids now have to kind of work. They don't have they can go to school, because you have to you kind of have to start working in Loberius. Everyone is equal. So like it was the same thing that kids can. It's like it sounds like a fish in an aquarium. They're keeping them kept. They're like Loberius is treating the humans like babies that they must protect. They're not letting them like venture out and find their own paths. Like the humans in Loberius have one path and one path only. Yeah, before I end the video, there's one theory that I have to talk about. It's about Leon and Chloe. We know Leon is a demon lord, demon lord, and Chloe is in the present. I feel like when Leon was summoned, something happened, and Chloe was summoned in the future instead of the past, where these two were supposed to be. Because anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Hunter, and I'll talk about this next week. Bye bye.